Hi guys, today is a mystery box challenge, so let's get right to it. So I am going to be unboxing my challenge items that I received from Aimless Squirrel, and her name is Erin. So let's see what she sent me.
Well, this is cool. Metal wire globe decor. Okay. I think I can do something with that. Ooh, and I got some beads. And I got a note here. Oh, what a cute card. Look at that. Did she make this? Tammy, I can't wait to see what you do with this. My store is always one of the last to get stuff, so there really isn't fall stuff there yet. Love, Erin, Aimless Squirrel. Oh, I love this. Sunset Summer Fruit Stand Juice Bar. I love this. Awesome. Yes. Okay.
All right. I think she sent me an easy box, so we are going to get started with DIY number 1. Now, I'm excited about this DIY. So I dipped into my stash of material. My mother was a quilter, and so she had a crap ton of material. And I didn't keep all of it. We donated some of it to a high school because they have a quilting club, but I did keep some of it. And this was a jean comforter kit. So I'm going to be using this because when I think of fall, I think of blue jeans. I think of my favorite blue jeans and a sweatshirt. And so I'm going to be using some of this material here, and I'm going to be cutting it into strips. And I just fold this accordion style as best I can to get the as close to the same size as possible. And then I just start cutting strips. I do have a rotary tool, and I do have a mat cutter, a cutting mat, a mat cutter, a cutting mat. But I just thought this was simpler. And then once I get the 2 side pieces cut, then I fold the middle in half and I cut the 2 strips from the middle. And I am not going to make you watch all this. I promise. Then I decided to cut it in half and then cut it in half again. I thought that was easier than doing the accordion style. So then I load my little mason jar down with Mod Podge and I start laying my strips. Now you want plenty of Mod Podge. Oh, okay. First, I'm going to put down this parchment paper that I got from Temu. Now, you want plenty of Mod Podge because the jean material will soak it up. And then I just alternate with a dark strip, a light strip, a dark strip, a light strip. I thought I was going to change it up in the middle and put 2 dark strips together, but I didn't like how it looked. So I took it off and redid it. So then when I get to the top, I'm trying to find one that I cut pretty straight or as straight as possible. And that way it's even across the top. And then I load the top down with Mod Podge and I just put it on each strip. And then we're going to make sure that it's loaded down even more with Mod Podge and set it aside to dry. Then, this is kind of like two DIYs in one. I took this little wooden tag that I had in my stash. I bought these last year, these little leaves, and I am going to be making a hang tag. Now, I'm using this DIY paint, the color Monet's Garden, which is a really dark, deep, beautiful green, and I am painting this leaf with it. And I paint it on both sides. Then I take this little Hello Fall sign that I got from Dollar Tree, and I am just painting it in the Waverly White chalk paint. And make sure you get the edges. And then to add some dimension to these little word signs, the Hello Fall, I took my Waverly Dark Wax, I watered it down, and I distressed the letters. Now, I went a little heavy at the bottom, so it looks kind of ombre, and I like that look. So it's heavy at the bottom and light at the top. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to go around this leaf and just give it some edging with some white. And I didn't really like how that looked. So I ended up, well, I was trying to smudge it with my finger, and I still didn't like how that looked. So I ended up just going over the whole thing with some watered down Waverly White, and then I wiped it back, and I did this a few times until I was satisfied, and then that's how I left it. And then once the jean material was dry, I went around with my fabric scissors, which I've kind of ruined these fabric scissors. So don't cut anything but fabric with your fabric scissors. But I have more, so it's okay. Anyway, I go around the mason jar with my fabric scissors and I cut back the jean material. So now I am just taking the beads that Erin sent me and I am making a hanger for the leaf Hello Fall sign. And I take my jute, I'm using the chunky jute, and I take my jute and I put it back through the beads, and I actually put too many beads on here. So you will see at the end, I only end up with 2 square beads and 1 round bead. Even though I string all those beads on there. So it hangs down way too long. And then I just hot glued my Hello Fall onto the front of the leaf. I burn off all the little fringes. And then I go about putting the beads, the square beads on the hanger. And I think I use about 12 of these square beads. And then I put 1 round bead on the either end. And then I put the hanger back on. And then I decide I'm going to add a round bead to the hanger or to the little tag so that it will coincide with the hanger. And then that's when I realized it's way too long. Oh, so I ended up using 1 square bead and 1 round bead, and that hung down perfect. And then I decided it needed something more. So I went and found my burlap ribbon and I covered the top of the mason jar with burlap because the silver just wasn't working for me. And then I decided, I dug in my stash of greenery and I decided to add a pumpkin with some leaves. It was just a swag that I pulled off of something else. And then I'm going to add these little green cattail things that I also had in my stash because I have everything in my stash. And I love the Papa Green. I think it just gives that a little bit, well, it just makes it pop. So it's not just all blue and orange. And anyway, I just think it turns out super cute. So let me know what you think. Do you like this one? All right, guys. Like I said, today is Mystery Box Challenge that is hosted by Ellie from DIY from House to Home. And I sent my box to Lisa from Our Gray House, and I got my box from Erin from Aimless Squirrel. So I cannot wait to go over and watch and see what everybody got and what they made with their items, mystery items. Okay, so the second item I'm going to make is this sign. Now, I've been wanting to make me one of these signs for a really long time. And I am going to do one with these Dollar Tree signs, and then I am going to do one later on with some scrap wood because I've always wanted one of these signs, and I'm finally going to make me one. I just don't know when. It'll be soon, I promise. Okay, so then I squirt out. Did you see me? I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I squirted out my plaster and it came out more than I needed. So I just go ahead and put that on. And the one thing I love about these squirt bottles is if you get too much, you can take off the top and put it right back in. It's not a big deal. Like, that's what I love about it anyway. And my paint is not drying out. So I also love that because it's saving me money. I don't know how many jars of paint I've pulled out of my cabinet now and they're dried out. So I literally have to go through my paint cabinet and eliminate paint. Who has to do that? A paint hoarder, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. I'll own it. Whatever. Okay, so I paint one of these little planks in plaster, Waverly chalk paint. I paint this one in pumpkin, and then I'm going to paint the third one in a bright yellow. Now they're not going to stay this color. I'm going to be mixing it up a little bit because you know I like to mix my paint and use the same paintbrush and all that good stuff. So I have to take my heat gun. Oh, see, I'm showing you. There's the pumpkin, plaster, and the bright yellow. I got to take my heat gun and dry these real fast. That bright yellow does not want to go on these little planks. So I'm having some issue with that yellow. So I thought, well, maybe I'll shake it up. I don't know. Did that help? No. It still took about 3 coats. But I used my same brush and I put different paint on. I just kind of mix the paint on each one of these planks because I want it to look like they've been painted over, they've been hanging outside, they're rustic, um, and they got like 10 layers of paint on it, and that's what I like. So then I'm watering down some of this antiquing wax. Now you can use brown wax, you can use truffle, you can use whatever you want to use or whatever you have on hand. And I am almost out. This bottle is like bare minimum, down to very, very little. And it's so watered down. So I just wanted to um, get this dark wax used up. I don't know why her words are so hard lately. So anyway, I just want to get this dark wax used up and I have another big bottle, but I haven't opened it yet. Hopefully it's not dried out. So now I'm taking this crocodile, and I got this like on major clearance at Joann's. I don't know why they're getting rid of them or what, but it has the rivets in the middle, and then it has the hole puncher on the side, and it has 2 different sizes of hole punchers. And I am just going where the staples were, and I'm going right in the middle of where the staple was, and I am punching the holes. Now on the bottom, I only punched the top, and on the middle and the top one, I punched both the top and the bottom, both sides. Well, you can see what I'm doing. I hope that made sense. And then I realized that the staples on the sign did not line up. So it's whatever. It's supposed to look rustic anyway, right? Okay, so then I went to my Cricut and I made me these little signs, these little cutout signs, and I did not create them myself. I actually went to there's a section on your Cricut design space called phrases, and I went there and I sliced out the words that I wanted to use in the fonts that they already had created because I didn't have time to sit through and go through 1,000 fonts. I am super picky about my fonts, and it always that takes the longest. Like that is what takes me the longest to design something is picking a font. How about you guys? Do you have issues picking a font? Because I do. Even though I have some of my favorites bookmarked, I still have issues. And I don't think it keeps your favorites every time. Every time they do an update, it seems like my favorites disappear. So then I have to go through and find my favorites again. But anyway, so I just sliced out these words. I looked for different phrases. I just looked for pumpkin patch, hay rides, and corn maze. And then it brought up these different phrases that people had already designed and made. And I sliced out the words, and that's what I made. So, if you are looking for the same font, just go to your Cricut design space, go to phrases, and search for corn maze, and you'll be able to find that same font because I have no idea what they are. And now I was trying to decide, do I add the 1 mile? Do I not? And I decided, yeah, just add it. So then after I get the vinyl put on the front, I am covering up the back with the brown paper. I want to make sure that my backside is finished because this is going to be hanging in my house. I love it. I actually might sell it or donate it. I'm not sure which, but either way, I want it to be nice and clean on the backside. And then I poke the holes. Now, this little pin is actually a straight edge. It's like an X-Acto knife in a pin form. I found them on Temu, and some of them came broken, but the ones that didn't come broken are still in a pin form. The only thing is that they are pointed, so you have to make sure that you get the blade side down, or it can rip your paper or whatever you're trying to cut. So you have to pay attention to which side the blade is on and the direction that it's facing. Now, I wanted some extra space in between these signs because I wanted them to kind of, be flowy, but I didn't want a lot of space. So that's why I left a little bit of space there. And I used the chunky uh, twine. I think this came from Walmart, if I remember correctly, but it's got like twigs in it and leaves in it, and it's like really rustic. I was struggling with that piece of twine. So I decided to put glue around the end and make a little point, and then it went through just fine. And then I am using the same chunky yarn, and I put glue on the end again, just so that I can string through these beads that Erin sent me. So, guys, if you have not gone over and visited these ladies' channels, they are friends of mine. We collaborate all the time. I love their channels, and I sent my box to Lisa. So make sure to go over and visit our gray house and tell Lisa that Tammie sent you. I'm going to be coming to Texas this weekend, Lisa, if you're listening. I don't know if you're back home yet or not. She's been gallivanting all over the country visiting her grandbabies. If you haven't watched her channel, or if you don't follow her on Instagram, you need to. And don't forget to follow me as well. All right, so there's my sign. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. Okay, I love this sign, and I'm gonna have to make it in real wood. Okay, guys, Rose Forever reached out to me and they wanted to send me a bouquet for summer. Now, my birthday's in the summer and it was last week.
Look at these beautiful flowers. These are their Rose Forever new line, and these are hydrangeas with roses. Now it looks like they got a little flat during shipping. I don't know if they threw the box around or what, but this comes in a white crock. This is beautiful. Oh, I love hydrangeas, and I love the pink, and I love the white, and these came just in time for my birthday. So this came in a white crock, beautiful, and it's the hydrangeas. A Rose Forever sent these to me, and this is their new line, and this is for summer. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you love hydrangeas? Oh my goodness. I do, and I am so excited. Now, I also will have a coupon code for you guys if you're interested in some flowers for yourself. Now remember, these last up to a year or longer. I'm gonna have to do a recap on all the flowers that they've sent me, the roses, and let you know what they look like and how they're doing. So I got some roses for the first time last October, and they are still beautiful. Still beautiful to this day. So I am so excited about these. These are gorgeous, and you can put these into any room in your house. Absolutely beautiful. Love this crock. Oh my goodness. And if you don't want that showing, you can turn it around and still have a plain white crock, and it will fit in anywhere in your house. Absolutely gorgeous, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. So thank you to Rose Forever for sending me these roses, and they came almost on my birthday, like the day after, and my goodness, and they're still soft. Like, they're so soft, but you're not supposed to touch them, so don't do that. But how gorgeous are they? Oh my goodness. Love it.
So I will have the link to the discount code and the Rose Forever website down in my description box, as well as to the playlist of all my friends. And if you want to pick up some roses, you get $25 off. And this is where I want to thank you so much for stopping by and supporting my channel. It means the world to me, and I could not do this without you. Now let's get back to the DIYs. This is the last one, and my store does not have these metal orbs, so I was thrilled to get this from Erin. I just thought it was adorable, and immediately when I saw it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to wrap that with lights. Now, I think I'm going to take this off the orange lights and redo it with some coppered wire lights. I just could not get the back off of this light pack. So I couldn't find my tiny little screwdriver to open up the other battery pack so that I could put batteries in the ones that have the wire or the copper wire. So I think the copper wire is going to look a lot better. But anyway, so I go ahead and I wrap this with the orange lights, and then I put moss, Spanish moss down to kind of hide the bottom of this, let's see, what is this wood thing? I don't know what you call this wood thing, but this square wood piece came off of some candle holders that I DIY'd into Christmas ornaments. So now I get to use this. And I have another one that I can use too. So I really like how this turned out. I think it's unusual, but it's still farmhouse and it's putting two things together that you wouldn't normally think about. And here I'm trying to figure out, what greenery do I want to put in here? I think this would look super cute with some green moss balls or just a big sunflower or something like that. But I wanted to make this more for Thanksgiving type. I like the pumpkins. Um, and I love these little green cattails. So I wanted to make it simple and elegant at the same time. I think the coppered wire lights will elevate this DIY quite a bit because these orange lights just kind of, I think it brings it down a notch. Anyway, it's still cute, but I think the copper lights would have looked a lot better. And I think the copper lights are clear, not orange. So here's what it looks like when the lights are off. All right, guys, do not forget to go over and visit the playlist. I will have that linked down below in my description box as well as in my comments. And here is the final reveal. Let me know what you think. Do you like these DIYs? Do you not like these DIYs? Which one's your favorite? On this first one, I feel like I should have added a little jean pocket and put some sunflowers in there. I think that would have been super cute. Now that I look at it, I might redo that and do that because that to me sounds like a super cute idea. And here's my little orb. And here's all of them together. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope you have a fabulous week. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.